Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is not intended for children under the age of 13 years old, and if the comments are off, it's because YouTube did it, not me. Also, it will contain spoilers for 2 episodes, The Mod Couple and Breakup Breakdown. I'm going to be talking about these separately because I forgot about them in last week's video, and I feel bad about it. So, you know what? It's still the month of love, right? It's time to talk about it by that logic. I know I'll be flawed, and I don't know. A commenter brought it up because, we both blanked on Breakup Breakdown. It being a Hearts and Hose Day episode and me not covering it with the other one was so dumb. Like, kicking myself dumb. So I guess I'll start with... But first, I'm actually going to be starting with the Mod Couple in this video. So I'm getting straight into this. This is from Season 8, Episode 3. And the plot follows Pinkie Pie being excited because Maud's birthday is just around the corner and she's planning a surprise party. Well, and she tries to arrange for Maud and her to pick out a cake together when Maud doesn't sew up, and Pinkie ends up meeting Mudbriar, who immediately rubs her the wrong way from the start. Pinkie Pie asks Mudbriar, goes to meet with Maud, and then Maud tells Pinkie that Mudbriar is indeed her boyfriend, which further concerns Pinkie in the situation. Anyway, Pinkie Pie asks Mudbriar to help plan Maud's birthday party, where he says that she doesn't like surprise parties, and Pinkie does not believe it, so she goes to ask Maud, who says she doesn't like surprise parties, but will tolerate them because Pinkie loves them, and that makes her happy. So Pinkie Pie, a little bit heartbroken about the situation, goes home to the rock farm, and talks with Marble and Limestone Pie, her other sisters, where they help her see what Maud sees in Mudbriar with a geode analogy. It's actually kind of good. And Pinkie returns to Ponyville and reconciles with Mudbriar, and they plan a party that makes everybody happy. So my thoughts. This is a really cool one to bring up because it's one of the only... Because, well, I thought I should bring it up if I already missed one of them, and this kind of counts as one, and I should cover my base on it. I think it has a lot more love elements than a lot of the other stuff in the show, but also the character building for other characters. And it's also the only episode that doesn't have Big Mac, so, that's just random. Out of all the ones I've talked about, almost every single one has Big Mac except this. In some capacity. So I guess it's good. I don't know. It's fine. I have talked about Big Mac so much recently, actually. The main thing that surprised me about this episode was Maud, of all ponies, getting a boyfriend. I mean, I guess it makes sense, and here we are, and, well, Mudbriar is something. He's best described as a stick in the mud, as his cutie mark basically says. It fits him very well. It definitely represents how his personality is. And Pinkie's reaction to Mudbriar is probably my first impression of him, too. He's annoyed me. But he grew on me, like a fungus. Kind of the way Quibblepants grew on me as a character. So, yeah. And let's just say Maud and Mudbriar are really good for each other, and I think that's why I end up liking him a little bit more, because they're just so happy together, and that's just great. Also, Starlight's a part of this as more of a tertiary character, and I think that's actually pretty good for her, just in general. She's not necessarily... I don't know if I like her Spotlight episodes, but when she's tertiary, she does such a good job helping out. She helped with the party at the end. And it's pretty good. Pinkie Pie herself, honestly, was perfectly reasonable to me. This is exactly how I could imagine her acting in character. So I like that we stay in the realm of what's possible for her with this given situation. So I guess let's move on to Breakup Breakdown, Season 8, Episode 10. Yes, Season 8 was the episode I blanked on, apparently. The plot follows Big Mac planning a date with Sugar Belle for Hearts and Hooves Day when he overhears Sugar Belle talking about how things just won't work with him. Meanwhile, Discord's trying to get Spike and Big Mac to play ogres and oubliettes with him, but not without succeeding. Big Mac who had sent a pie in the mail to Sugar Belle earlier that day, is heartbroken and begins needing solace. Meanwhile, Sweetie Belle gets a mysterious package that has the first person's name scratched out and says Belle, and thinks it's from her secret admirer, who C searches for it with the help of the rest of the CMC, while having a pretty good time around Ponyville, but never finds. On Big Mac's end, he's still struggling, and he decides that he's going to break up with Sugar Bell before C can break up with him. Turns out the wild theory Spike had all the way at the beginning of the episode about the situation was actually correct, and Sugar Bell was never going to break up with Big Mac. C was just planning on going to Ponyville on the weekends to be Mrs. Cake's apprentice, and her kind of strange cousin was going to watch her sops over where in Starlight's Village that time. And Big Mac helps fix her wagon, which Discord totally didn't break, just so they could have more time, so Big Mac and Sugar Bell would go back together. Meanwhile, Sweetie Belle comes to terms with the fact that she doesn't have a special sun pony or secret admirer, and realizes that she still had a good Valentine's Day with her friends. So my thoughts. This is the second episode that takes place in Hearts and Hooves Day, and it's way better than the first one for me. The first one is a bit confusing and contrived and messed up, to be quite frankly honest. Like, it's an interesting episode, but in a morbid way for me. Just the lack of consent. So I'm not gonna lie. Though, I did confuse this episode with two other episodes. I think those were Dungeons and Discords and the Big Mac question because of the character set in them. And I think you can see where I came from with it. That little issue I had, and that's why I missed it in the first time I did the video. There's a lot more to like here. Spike, Big Mac, and Discord, who make up the focus of the plot, have a lot of fun interactions with each other. And one thing I found interesting is that Discord doesn't really know what romantic love is here. Like, he doesn't care about Hearts and Hooves Day. He doesn't understand its concept. So, like, he's pretty neutral towards it. He just wants to play a game. Spike is also pretty interesting because his random guess about Sugar Bell's intentions ended up being spot on, and he had no idea until the end. I don't even know if they ever told him that was spot on, actually. They probably did, given Big Mac's his friend, but yeah. Now, I'm gonna just, on a side note, talk about Sweetie Belle, because she has a little Valentine's Day with her friends while looking for her secret admirer, and I just think that's cute, that they touch on you don't need to have someone special, you can just enjoy time with friends in a platonic manner, and that's fine. So, yeah. And finally, I will move on to Big Mac himself and Sugar Belle. Big Mac has a lot more characterization here than any of the others. He speaks a lot in these episodes. He does a lot. And I think that's pretty interesting. Sugar Belle herself has very minimal screen time, though, in comparison to the other Big Mac Sugar Belle episodes I've seen. Like, this one probably has the least since they started dating on it. Which is fine. I think that it's okay. And just lastly, looking at the background, you can see a few of the canon couples of the show. So there's Maud and Mudbriar, Cranky and Matilda, and just a plethora of other couples that are just random, as well as a not really confirmed in words couple, like we haven't seen them get a dedicated episode, Bon Bon and Lyra. And I was like, okay, I'm not really a sipper at all. I'm just not gonna lie, these episodes are probably less in my realm because of that. But Bon Bon and Lyra are definitely dating. Have we seen Slice of Life and then this shows them giving each other gifts on the Hearts and Hooves Day in Ponyville? Like, this ain't Valentine's Day for them. Unless it's romantic Valentine's Day, which is just basically Hearts and Hooves Day for them. So yeah, I think that rounds out what I had to say. I'm done with that. Tell me, out of these episodes, including the ones from last video if you've seen that, which one do you actually like out of these 7 episodes I've discussed that revolve around the concept of love or Hearts and Hooves Day, and what do you think they usually do right or do wrong? I always think they have a bit of a problem with how, especially the first one was, not really understanding the characters and how to write a love scene. It wasn't very good. But personally, I still think they're kind of fun to watch, and these 7 would be what I consider part of a seasonal rotation of watching episodes around Valentine's Day, or Galentine's Day, you know? More of Galentine's Day for me, but yeah. So, like, comment, subscribe, bye! I'm trying to reach 400 subscribers before the end of the year.